Hey everyone! Welcome to another episode of Screenwriting Tips. My name is Tony D. A short video today. So much freelancing to do. I'm freelancing all over the place, so I got to get right back to it. But real quick, quick video about sound effects. When should you use them in your screenplay? A lot of people, I think, when they're rookie screenwriters, their impetus is to do sound effects for everything. Very unnecessary things, like a character walks across the room and you put footsteps. I mean, you could really overdo it very easily. The only time you really want to draw attention to sound effects is when they're important to the story or important to the scene. So, every time a character opens a door, or answers the phone, or whatever, you don't necessarily have to put in sound effects. It's assumed that if you write a description of a scene like Fred's phone rings and he answers it, you don't also have to put sound effect phone ringing because it's redundant. It's assumed that if Fred's phone rings, it makes a noise, and you as a screenwriter, if that's not important, then that'll be up to the production team to decide what kind of ring he has, and the director, whether or not that ring's going to be crucial to the scene or say something about Fred's character. Obviously, if you don't describe it, it's probably not. Obviously, if Fred is in let's say a comedy where all the characters are very big and, that's an opportunity to do something funny. So maybe his ringer is, if he's a real macho guy, maybe his ringer is a very girly song, connected to someone, or that he just likes the song. So there are opportunities there, but unless you're going to exploit them, you don't necessarily need to put in every single sound effect. And just like anything else in your screenplay, you have to think of it in terms of the team building the movie. So if you're doing a sci-fi movie, let's say, and there's going to be alien sound effects, unless those sounds are so important in the movie to be a certain way because that's the plot, then what you want to do is merely make suggestions for those sound effects so that the production team can then craft them according to their vision, the tone that the director decides for the film. It might have something to do with the costume design too. So you wouldn't want to necessarily get so specific with the sound effects unless they're crucial to the story. That's your realm. Your realm is the story. So wherever that's crucial, yes, you should absolutely describe the sound effects in as much detail as is required to convey a story. I don't know if you can hear Joan way in the background. I left her in the office because she's being a very naughty doggy today, barking at everything. Speaking of sound effects, I guess that's what inspired this video tonight. Huh? Look at me. So that's about it in terms of sound effect. And a similar thing could be said for music, which is, in a way, a kind of sound effect. You don't want to get too specific with that either. I used to get very specific with my songs, and I found that sometimes producers would read the screenplay and decide, well, I don't want to buy the rights to all that music, so therefore I'm not interested. So it kind of hurt me in a way to get so specific. Now, obviously, if something in the story hinges on a specific song, then you have no choice but to include that. But if, for instance, it's just a scene in a country bar, you don't have to pick a particular country song. That can limit things from a production end because they may only have so big of a budget. Whereas if you just put country music plays in the background, or music that sounds like country music plays in the background, even more vague, they can just go find some, go make some. I mean, there's plenty of stuff out there now that you could just download off the internet. So any low budget movie really has access to fairly high quality sound effects and music It sounds professional, but it's not actual real songs you would hear on the radio. But you may not necessarily need that for a background scene in a movie, or just music playing on somebody's radio as they drive past, or things like that. So, as in everything else in your screenplay, you only want to concentrate on the things that drive the story forward. Everything else, you could put that in, but you can keep it kind of loose to keep, the production team, so it gives them a lot of options. So if they can't get a specific song, or they can't get a specific sound, or they can't get a specific look, they can modify it according to their resources. This is especially crucial in a low budget screenplay. Okay, so trying to keep these short. That's it for screenwriting tips. Check me out on Patreon. Check out my comics on the Webcomic Factory and Superfrat. And gosh, I guess I will see you next time. Bye bye.